Welcome to the Handled Internally podcast. I'm Ed Tate from BlueBombers.com, joined as always by the Blue Bombers Director of Player and Public Relations and Chief Consigliere, Darren Cameron, and our special guest this week, Lucky Whitehead. Man, it's been a while since we've done one of these podcasts, Darren. Good to be back.
Yeah, there you go. It's been too long, man. It was a long time since we saw you back in blue and gold until last week.
Yeah.
Welcome back, buddy.
I'm glad to be back.
Yeah.
Appreciate y'all.
It's been, it was a bit of a wait. But you...
It was a good wait, though, man.
Yeah.
I did a lot of learning,
Yeah.
self-reflecting, so it was fun.
And then it made August 1st even more special.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's a pretty special night for you.
And no, it was definitely, it was fun, electric, and I can't wait to do it again.
Yeah.
You said right after you got into the end zone, Lucky, that you wanted to kind of stay there for a while, right? Because
Yeah.
soak up the moment, right? That was a special night for you.
Yes, sir.
Just talk about that getting in the end zone and staring into the crowd and being all jacked up. That must have been, that's why you play, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, it was like I said, electric. It was so fun to just hear the crowd, right? Hear the bomb go off. I was super excited, and like I told you, I wanted to just soak up that moment. And I honestly didn't want to leave the field, leave the end zone. I wanted to kind of get into the crowd a little more, but I knew we had to kick a field goal, right? And it was definitely special just to get back out there and get in the end zone for us.
So how I was kind of telling you how we do run these things, kind of run through your career. So we'll start maybe back in high school. We'll kind of go from there. So playing high school in Virginia, were you always a receiver? Or you
Nah.
did whatever they wanted?
Whatever they asked me to do. But my freshman year, I know they wanted me to play quarterback, but I didn't throw much, so I kind of converted to receiver my sophomore year.
Okay, and then so from there you head into college, and you end up at Florida Atlantic right after 1 year, or did you how many years did you play before you transferred?
I did 2 seasons at Dean College.
Yeah.
And then I went to FAU my junior year.
Okay, and still at that point you're playing receiver.
Yeah, I'm still playing receiver.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I was playing receiver at Dean as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So you go undrafted. Let's transfer over quickly to the NFL then. So you end up at Florida Atlantic. You play that out. You go undrafted. Take us through what happens next. Are you fielding options, or is it Dallas all the way, or what's going on there?
No, I was fielding options. It was out of the Commanders, San Francisco, and Dallas at the time, and I was more so just like, what was my best opportunity to get on the field? And just looking at the roster, I think San Francisco had a bunch of receivers at the time. Commanders I just didn't want to be at home. Right? I didn't want to be in Virginia. And Dallas they had a returner to just leave and went to New York, went to the Giants. So that was my best, I felt, opportunity to get on the field at returner. And then wherever they put me in on offense, they'll just plug and play.
Were you a Washington fan growing up?
No,
No.
not at all.
What was your club?
I was a more so players guy.
Okay.
I never wanted to get into like, oh, this is my team, and just deal with the disappointment. Right. I used to watch my family go bonkers over teams, and right when they just lose, I didn't understand right as much. It's just like, no, I'm not rooting for this squad. My mom's a big Steelers fan. So I used to see her go crazy and stuff like that. But I like the players and players that did the things I did on the field.
Who were your guys then?
Like just Deshaun Jackson, Dante Hall, DeAnthony Thomas, the smaller receivers that did well at receiver, but also was returners.
You know, Darren can get into more about your days with the Cowboys, but you talked about the opportunity. For a lot of people in the States, you pull on that Dallas helmet with the star on it. That is pretty iconic, though, right? That must have been a cool moment just for the first day as a Cowboy.
Yeah, it was crazy, like, for my family as well. Like, a lot of them were big Commander fans. being from the DMV area, and kind of just converted over, right? And it was crazy just putting on that helmet, going into that locker room, seeing those guys, those Tony Romos, right? That Jason Witten, Dez Bryant. It was a surreal moment. So like, I knew when I got in, it was like I think they brought in 5 other rookie receivers.
Mm.
And first meeting we had, our receiver coach was like, "We only got 1 spot for y'all," right? And I just kind of put my head down and was like, "This is my only opportunity right now," because I don't know. I didn't have no other plans outside of football, right? So I had to make a way, and I pretty much came in and I knew my job and everybody else's job around me, so I could had an opportunity to be on the field.
Did you said that you didn't want to be to be at home? Was there like you just wanted to venture out and see the world, or what do you mean by that?
Yeah, no, just a distraction,
Yeah,
right? Obviously, a lot of stuff comes with when you get that when you're getting that kind of money in
Yes.
the NFL, right? Like you got a lot of people that feel like they earn that money too,
Mhm.
right? So, just for myself, I just didn't want to be able to have people have access to me, and that way they can just get up and come to my place, right?
Yeah.
Or I'm always home, and it's just the distractions, right? I wanted to be away. That's why I went to Dean College in Massachusetts and FAU
Yeah.
in Florida, because I had an offer from Old Dominion University, and I didn't want to go there because of the same reason. I just didn't want the distraction.
Yeah, and there's a lot of those stories, right?
Right.
Of those type of situations happening, and sometimes guys' careers end up going to shit because of people they're surrounded by.
Right.
You know, so let me ask you about Dallas. Did anybody were a few things? Did any moments kind of stand out to you where it was like, shit, I am in the NFL, playing for the Dallas Cowboys? You know what I mean? Like one of those. Did you have any of those type of moments?
Probably the first preseason game, really.
Yeah.
Obviously, practice was moving fast. A lot of guys were kind of going down, but like first preseason game, now like most of the starting receivers aren't playing, right? So you got to adjust quick. And I was playing in the slot, but I was also returning, right? And consider myself a little fast guy,
Yeah.
but the game speed was fast, right? So like guys that aren't my speed were moving like they were,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so I had to adapt and react to things faster, right? It wasn't that they were just as fast as me. I was just moving slow. Like I wasn't processing things as fast. So like the return game was a little different. I think I had fumbled on one. I think on like my first return, and then the second one I had broke right before like halftime. I broke probably like 50 yards, right? But I had to adapt quick during that game.
Mm.
And after that, the game kind of slowed down for me, and then it was like, oh wow, this is.
You know, you said that right from the beginning. Your receivers coach said there's 1 spot, right?
Yeah.
And we've had guys on this show, Lucky. We've had guys on our other show, The Huddle, that had been in the NFL, like Kenny and Dalton and Strevler, and the chances of a late round draft pick or even an undrafted guy to make it are so tough,
All right.
right? I mean, was it in a way when a guy's that up front with you and says we got 1 spot, does that kind of give you kind of clarity and focus? Okay, I'm in a battle here. Even more so, you know what I mean? Like you knew right away. Okay, if the odds are long here, I got to go get it.
Right. And at the time, it was just like, I already got these 5 guys. Some of them came from those big powerhouse colleges. And I'm like, okay, this was my signing bonus. This was his signing bonus. They like him a little more. Right.
Mm.
And so I got to really outwork. And obviously, I got to be great at what I'm doing at my spot. But I got to find a way to show up. Like, I got to stand out. Right. And that's what I was doing. So I was doing, well, all of us, like we were doing dirty work. Right. So that those run blocks and stuff like that. And I was making sure, like I said, that I was available and I knew what I was doing and I was doing it full speed, right? So like it was one practice I had hit the wrong line, like I had to hit the linebacker, but I hit the wrong one. But I got a pretty good pop on him. And coach was like, "That's the wrong guy." But like we like the physicality, like
Right.
we can fix everything
Yes.
else, right? So and like I'm 179 soaking wet, right? And I'm this Sean Lee type of deal. These big boy linebackers, and I'm just like, I gotta go in here and put my mouthpiece in and do my thing. So, and every chance I got, I had to show up, right? Because at the end of the day, you're the fifth guy.
Did you have anybody kind of like veteran guys to kind of take you under their wing, so to speak, or do vets kind of leave rookies
No,
to
I
fend for
mean,
themselves?
yeah.
Yeah.
Some people do that. We had a tight receiver room,
Yeah.
and a tight offense. And like I said, once I had eventually made the team, and I was doing like I had plays on offense as well, but like people they show you that love and respect once they see, okay, he can ball, right? He a baller too, and definitely most of the receivers took me under the wing. I was playing slot, but I had to know kind of everything. And I mean, Cole Beasley was a great teacher at slot, explaining on a lot of his routes and why he runs it this way and why he runs it that way. And I mean, we would go. I would go at least to the D-line dinners. I would go. They did that once a week, like before games, and I would join them. And I was pretty tight with the D-line. And yeah, I mean, a lot of people know me and my personality. Like, it's very welcoming and
Yeah.
right. So I was pretty cool with everybody, and they definitely took care of me.
You kind of, I imagine it's served you to this day, but you learn a lot about yourself, right? Because you got to battle and you got to grind, and that's, it sounds like that's a big part of what got you on that team, right? Is that who cares about the odds and who cares about that other guy's signing bonus? I'm going to kick your ass and I'm going to take that spot, right?
For sure. No, it was like I said, it was five of us, and at the time we had, you come in for like rookie mini camp, so you got those early 3-day practices before the vets come in, and we're doing our practices. The vets come in, and like towards the end of that, like I think it was like 3 rookies that went down, and that was 3 of the undrafted guys. So I'm like, all right, I already got an extra foot now, but I knew the other positions. So that kind of helped me out. And then next thing you know, come to training camp, I caught myself in there with the ones, and no one cares if you're the rookie, right? If you're in there with this group, you got to be up to speed. And how Tony was, it was like I'm a test him and see if he knows his stuff, right? So like certain plays he would change, and if he changed it, that ball coming to you. Right, so you got to know, and I was obviously prepared, and I had made those plays, and we had a preseason game against Minnesota, and I had like a drag. Tony almost got sacked, breaks out of that, and ends up throwing me a touchdown pass, and I was just like, that was the moment where I was like, all right, we here,
Yeah, I belong.
yeah.
So you spend 2 years in Dallas, Luck, and then you're a month prior to the start of 2017 camp, and then shit kind of hits the fan with a situation where I guess somebody got caught stealing at a gas station.
Yeah.
Used all your information. Maybe go ahead, tell the story, but it's a wild story.
Right. Yeah, no, I was yeah, it was actually one of my best friends. Right? We grew up together. We played ball together.
Oh shit.
So I started playing football when I was 5. I think me and him started playing together when I was 6. Like we had sleepovers all the time. Like that was my guy. He had just came home from jail. I was at home because I think it was like just an all season that type of moment. And when I had seen him, I'm like, yo, if you need something, like let me know. Like, if I can help you, I got you. And I would come home back and forth, and I host like little, like I host camps, kids and stuff. And I came home for that, and I had went back to Texas. And when I had got back, we shoot off to Oxnard for training camp. And I had my Apple Watch on at the time. And if you're close enough to your phone, cause like where our locker room was, I was getting messages and alerts, but like the alerts were crazy, right? So I had got one from my agent, was like, "Yo, what you do when you go back home?" And then I was getting stuff from people that I haven't even spoken to, like, "You good?" And then it popped up as far as like ESPN and TMZ, and I'm like, so as I'm coming off the field, guy was like, "Hey, just come with me. Media's about to come up to you. Don't say nothing. Just keep walking. We gotta go see Coach." At the time, and I'm like, "All right." And first reporter ran up and was like, "How you feel about the arrest warrant you got in Virginia?" And I'm already like, "What arrest warrant?" Right? And then I found out it was for shoplifting, and I'm like, "I've been in the league 2 years. I'm shoplifting. It's life or death. Like, it's I don't need to shoplift." And from a gas station.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what my head was at with it. And in the league, they, you know, like every team does it. They preach mantras and brotherhood and right, protect one another, whatever. And when I went into coach office at the time, I ain't feel that. There wasn't nobody protecting me.
Yeah.
You feel me? They just saying I pissed away a great opportunity and was bringing up stuff about my family and just nonsense that didn't have nothing to do with the situation, or not. No one was trying to like figure out if it was really what really happened.
Yeah.
Right. And I was saying that I wasn't even. It had ended up coming out that I wasn't even in Virginia at the time. Right. I was already back in Texas.
So just to give people some the backstory there. So when this guy got arrested, he didn't have an ID, so he gave them
my name.
Everything.
They try to say he gave him my social. He doesn't have my social. He has my address. He obviously he knows my name.
Yeah, date of birth.
Right. He knows
name.
the basic stuff.
Yeah. So he gave them that, and then I guess without looking into it,
they took it and ran with it.
Yeah.
All right.
That's crazy. I mean, that's a wild story.
So they cut you on the spot. Sorry, Eddie. So they cut you on the spot, or how does that work? Because like if you can keep going for a second, like then. Like it comes out like a day later that it wasn't you.
Well, no. So I kept saying that. I'm just like, I try to plead my case that it wasn't me. That I don't need to shoplift.
Yes.
And he just, like at the time, our head coach just continued to just say I pissed away a great opportunity, and I'm just like, all right, right at this point, all right. Like, you seem like your mind's already made up. He said that they had already had people look into it and they seen you on camera. And I'm just like, that's right. And I'm like, that's a lie, whatever. Right. And he was like, yeah, well, we already made the decision. We're going to let you go and blah, blah. And I was like, well, that's cool. But you're going to see like that. I ain't shoplift. The story going to come out, whatever. And it ended up coming out. And it was just like, I felt that because they had just drafted another receiver to come in as well, but like I said, I'm a hard-nosed guy. I understand why I'm at my back against the wall. You feel me? I'm a show up and compete, and I think they knew that as well. So it was like just a reason, any reason to just let me go. But yeah, they just released me with no. Well, real evidence.
It's weird because I know from this side that if something like that happened here, these guys would be investigating that to the nth degree and giving the player, every chance to explain his side of the story before rushing to judgment. It's too bad. It's not just too bad, just underselling it. It's horrible.
Right.
It is horrible.
And it's
it is horrible.
Like you must have felt like you kind of get. It stains you in a way. Right, you're innocent, but it's the
right. No, and it's a mental game too, because like like I said, that was a close friend, but you playing with my livelihood, right?
Yeah.
And the NFL is not for long, right? And I had made it undrafted, you know what I mean? And I wasn't just on the team, right? I was making plays, and I just felt like I got the short end of the stick. You know what I mean? I did get another opportunity to go to New York, but injuries came in, and I just didn't get the, you know what I mean, my experience the way I wanted to. But
Yeah. Could you not file a grievance or something like that? How would that work? I mean, I don't know how it works down there, but
I mean, it's such a machine down there.
Yeah.
I certainly don't want to speak on their behalf, but I
it
mean,
just seems wrong, man.
it's
no.
generally speaking, in situations where something, in our case, if something comes up like that, we have had situations, not that specific type of thing, but we've had situations come up. It's certainly looked into
Yep.
before any sort
Yeah.
of decisions are made. But again, that's certainly not speaking for them. That's
yeah,
kind of.
no, it
But
came
what
up.
an embarrassing situation for them. I mean, that to make a mistake like that. I mean, it came out the next day that it wasn't
Right.
you. Did you think about, well, not to belabor this, but did you? I saw some articles where your agent obviously was pretty pissed at them, rightfully so.
All right.
Was there ever a thought of be like, hey, like, can I have my job back? Or at that point, was it so like, fuck you guys, we're done here?
Yeah, it was done.
Yeah.
I know the grievance stuff had came up, even with Prince William County in Virginia, right? For them to just release that and say it was me and all that,
Good point.
like y'all didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I could have, but at the time, like when I got to New York, they just said, you know what I mean? They're all about protecting the shield,
Sure.
right? So when I got to New York, obviously it was New York's big media base. Soon my first practice, obviously I was going to see media, and they came up to me right away and just say you're happy to be here. Don't talk about the situation. All right,
Yeah. Sure.
all right, and that's what you gotta do.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
but I could never really talk about the story. I couldn't say what was happening or
Yeah.
right. I
Yeah.
gotta just take it on the chin,
Yeah.
move on.
Yeah.
That's tough considering who threw the punch, right? I mean,
Right.
take it on the chin, but man,
Well,
Yeah.
let's move on. So you're with the Jets. You said injuries kind of come up, and then you end up spending the rest of that season kind of waiting for another opportunity, I imagine. And then 2019, you end up, first time you and I meet is in Bradenton
Yeah,
at IMG Academy in our mini camp.
yeah.
So how did you end up there?
handled internally, brought to you by PlayNow.com. Bomber fans, PlayNow.com reminds you that when you bet on blue, there's only one legal online sportsbook in Manitoba, only one that guarantees your winnings, and only one where the profits stay here to support your community. Play your Bombers at PlayNow.com, your hometown sportsbook. Enjoy responsibly. And now, on to the show.
Ryan Rigmaiden
Okay.
had shot me a call, a text first, and then called. I was like, yeah, we got a mini camp out in Florida, and I want you to like come to it. He was like, I seen you play. I've been to your camp before when I was playing in the NFL, and he was like, you're exactly what we're looking for. And I was super curious because I was like, yeah, I wanted to obviously come and do the camp, but I was just like, I wonder how receivers time up with the quarterback when they're doing the waggle. Right. So when I got there, I was just like, oh, let me see this. And then I was on the line, right? I was playing like the X receiver, and I didn't get the waggle at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I felt super rusty, and like they would like I ran like 2 slants in like a 1-on-1 period, and then I did like some team periods that we had. Felt super rusty, and after practice, he was like, "Oh man, you look so fast," and I was just like, "I haven't even been running."
Yeah.
Like I was coming off a broken foot and a pulled hamstring, back-to-back years. So like mentally, I was just like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I was in that fog of just like questioning faith and football and all that other stuff. So yeah, then I made my way up to Winnipeg, Manitoba, and I fell back in love with the game.
Yeah. Was that your first time in Canada, training camp
Yeah.
that year? It was, okay. So I can't recall. Like I can't remember even what it was. What we did that year. Were you under contract when you came to that camp, or did?
No,
Okay, so it was like
I didn't get a contract after camp.
okay, right,
Yeah.
okay.
Rasheed Bailey was in that camp too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was it.
we've had a number of guys
Yeah.
that have come through that. Bruce Johnson, Mo Leggett.
Can you run
Brandon
that-
Alexander.
Can you get that camp again? It was nice to cover that in the middle of winter from
Yeah,
Winnipeg.
yeah,
Can you do your
yeah.
make all your
Yeah,
powers
yeah.
make that happen?
We'll call upstairs.
Okay.
I think he looks like the Florida beer buddy.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
It could be anywhere,
yeah,
but yeah.
So your
Florida's
first
good.
time in Winnipeg, first time in Canada
Yeah.
is Winnipeg training camp, 2019. What were your first impressions?
I was like, this is college all over again.
Yeah,
All right, we were in those dorms. AC was broken. Fan was blowing heat.
Damn.
Like it was right. You gotta. As soon as you walk out your room, you got your kitchen, your bathroom,
yes,
another roommate right there. Right. It felt like college all over again. And at this point, I've been down south for
yeah.
almost 3-4 years. I'm pushing 26. I'm just like, what in the world is going on? I don't know nothing, right? I just didn't know what to expect. I was only looking forward to like practicing meetings because I wanted to be around football.
Mhm.
And once we played our first, I think we played against SAS that
Yes.
first preseason game.
In Saskatchewan.
They had 3 catches for like 103 or something.
Yes.
And I was like, damn, I love this. This is fun.
You said that because I remember talking to you during camp. It was a story in Bradenton, and then you became a bigger story as camp went on. And you just said it a few seconds ago. You kind of found your love for the game again.
Absolutely.
And I mean, part of that's probably being put through the grind in the NFL and everything that happened too, right?
Right.
There's something that's a little bit more pure about,
Yeah.
you're just playing because you love it.
Right. No, yeah, I was drained. Like I said, coming off those 2 injuries, dealing with the stuff I had to deal with, and obviously like never having no one to like, I never got to like express it or tell my side of everything. And yeah, just coming back up here, just learning. I was learning a new game, right? Learning new rules, but it was still football, and just meeting new guys, learning their stories, and where they were from. It was also cool to just to hear people out. And when we played our first game, it was fun to just play football.
Yeah. There's a certain best man wins too in a camp up here, right?
Right.
There's no signing bonuses or where you've been drafted.
Right.
Who's gonna?
Who's gonna
Best
show
man.
out, right? And it's you get your reps, and you gotta be consistent, right? And whether you're in the first group or the third group, during camp, that's when your time is to like really go. Because I mean, obviously everybody has their first group, and you got a few people that's actual starters. But then we got some new guys that come in, and if it's a receiver, you got 2 new guys that usually like wow, right? Whether O-lineman, you got 1 or 2. It's like wow. But you got people that's already obviously been in the system in the offense, but you come in and you be like, all right, who's going to be that difference maker for us, right? And that's what I was trying to do when I came up here.
So we go through the 2019 season. And it was kind of a bit of a roller coaster for you. You ended up not being on the Grey Cup roster, but one of the things I remember at the time the coaches talking about was how important your role was in practice throughout the week, which is a shitty thing that, for a player to have to not play in the championship game sucks.
Right.
But you really obviously did your part
Yeah.
as best you could do, right? And so kind of take us through that whole maybe through the season, and then obviously the Grey Cup week was a big week for us. We were massive underdogs
Right.
from a perception perspective, I guess.
Yeah.
But you kind of did the right thing, man, and it you busted your ass all week.
Yeah, no, obviously it was a roller coaster season, right? We had Matt Nichols at the time,
Yeah.
and we started 7-0.
Started 5-0,
5-0.
lost a couple.
Right,
We had
yeah.
a lot of shit going on.
Right,
Chris
yeah.
Matthews had this
Off the field stuff.
yeah, good way to put it.
Yeah, so we had a whole bunch of stuff going on, but no, it was a roller coaster for me, like I said, because I came in, I started hot,
Yes.
right, and
At home opener.
right, yeah, I was putting
Holy
up, I was putting up great numbers, and it was like I said, it was fun, and then like I said, our quarterback situation that changed, and a lot of stuff was just happening, right? And we had to move pieces around, whatever. But when I ended up playing late in the season again, then I got sat down again, and I don't know, I kind of took it as like obviously it's a championship, I still want to win,
Sure.
right?
Of course, yeah.
And I think I had to play Brandon Banks. I'm like, that's an honor, right? He's a all-star in the league.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be the best Brandon Banks I could be,
Yeah.
right? And I'm gonna try to make our defense better and give them the best look as possible,
Yeah.
right? Because like I said, I wanted to still win.
Sure.
I wanted to celebrate after.
Yeah.
And
You did a bit of that.
and boy, did I do that.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you
Boy,
did.
did we do that. But it was a blessing to just, obviously just cheer the boys on and just know you was part of that.
Yeah.
You know what's weird about that? Even a few weeks ago, Coach O'Shea brought that up. That what you just said, how hard you practiced during Grey Cup week, and in a moment like that, a lot of guys might have said, screw this. I'll go through the motions here. But it's funny how little things like that. I mean, that probably when your name came up again this spring, that's one of the first things management probably thought here, right? This guy was an awesome teammate, right to
Right.
the bitter end. Let's bring him in. And I think it's funny how little moments like that can shape things, eh?
Yeah, no, he and Osh brought it up my first day back here in front of the team as far as like, hey, just introduce yourself and a non-interesting thing about football. I mean, without football, whatever. And he brought that moment up as well about the Grey Cup week and how I busted my ass. And like I said, I'm a big team guy. It's a time to have fun, time to play, and it's rare you'll see me without a smile on my face, right? Because it's a different appreciation for the game now. Just because I was chilling at the crib, you know what I mean, with my dogs, my family. That was fun too. But like I wanted to be able to just show, right? You see us players, we see stuff, we read, right? And me being 32 now, people question, oh, he might have lost a step. I ain't lose nothing.
Mm-mm.
You feel me? So like, that's why when I go out there, you see it can be a 5-yard catch or a 30-yard catch. I'ma enjoy it. You feel me? I'ma have a good time.
Did you you were talking about this kind of previous to coming in here. Did you think that maybe like you were done, or we're kind of skipping ahead here? But I just want to talk about you coming back in July. Were you contemplating the next chapter? Or were you always planning on? Because I was always checking in on you
Yeah.
to see what you're up to. But were you thinking like, yeah, maybe I'm
Yeah, no.
maybe from your own thought?
Yeah,
maybe,
no. I've said it to a handful of my friends and family, and obviously I train every day just because one, I like it. Two, I like to look good. Right. I like to take my shirt off. So
yeah,
right.
there you
So
go.
that's
Yeah. So does Ed.
right.
So it's fine.
No, you don't want to see
Oh,
that.
okay.
But no, I definitely thought about it, and then I also thought like I want to go out on my terms.
Yeah.
Not that, you feel me, that I couldn't play or I lost a step. That wasn't, you know what I mean? So like you hear that and see that and you be like, what? You know what I mean? And I'm a competitor at the end of the day. And like I said, I can play ball with the best.
Yeah. So, like I said, I do want to talk a bit about kind of the COVID season or the, even what you were doing during COVID and then kind of signing with BC. But just that kind of leads into going where we're going this weekend.
Yeah.
It's one thing to play those guys here. Now we're going back there. Is there any, like, it's a funny question, 'cause I always tell guys to say, no, it's just another game. Just tell them it's another game. Now, when I'm asking the questions, I'm like, no, come on, it's got to be more motivation. But it's like, there's no way it's not in the back of your mind.
Competitor at the end of the day, right? So it is more so like, it's personal for me.
Sure.
And that's not just with BC, that's with everybody
Yeah.
that didn't give me an opportunity.
Yeah.
You feel
Yeah.
me? Like I said, don't question my game as far as my speed, right? That's my game.
Mhm.
And I've had some hamstring injuries, and like if anybody had a hamstring injury, it might feel good, but like I can mentally play with you, right?
Mhm.
So like sometimes you're just afraid to open up the way you want to just because you want to be good, right? So once you are feeling fine, whatever, you can take the top off. But it's personal for me,
Yeah.
for everybody,
Yeah.
because like,
Did it end badly there, or like in terms
oh
of your,
no,
No,
that was
okay.
no, it was like I already knew it was coming.
yeah,
Right, you can, as a player, you get the sense of things. You see how things start to turn and whatever, and I felt that in the midst of the season.
last year?
Yeah,
Yeah.
We talked at the top of this podcast, and when you first re-signed here, Lucky, about appreciation for the game, soaking up those moments like being in the end zone. What will the moments be like this weekend in BC then? Like, what will you soak up? Because there's going to be tons of Lucky Whitehead fans. They're
Right.
everywhere, but it'll be different to go back there with your old team against your old team. Like, this kind of a wild story.
yeah. No, it's gonna be a bunch of sevens over there, and it's funny because even when the season started, they were still selling my jerseys there, and I just know it's gonna be electric. It's gonna be a lot of love, and I'm gonna feel those same type of emotions
Right.
and excitement in that end zone, those jitters. But you know what I mean, it's just nice to hear, right? Because it's not like even when I was playing in BC and came here, it was love.
Right.
Sat in
Right.
the stands.
Yeah, I sat in the stands. Look, we lost 50 something to 0. I think one time. I think it was like 48 to 0.
45 nothing, yeah.
Yeah, and they were cheering Lucky, and my teammates hated it at the time, right? But it was like, I'm sorry, like
Yeah.
like you know what I mean. I love to engage with the fans because like I never got to experience no professional games where it was just like, oh, that's my favorite guy right there, that's my favorite, right? But like up here, it's more so you get engagement.
Mm-hmm.
Right, you can actually talk to a player, and people come to practices and stuff like that. Like kids on the field after games, and it's all respect and it's just love.
I'm going to ask you a little bit about that because you got me thinking. After the Jets, and when you're trying to find out what's next in your chapter, someone, I guess, might have been Ryan Rignaden, said, "Hey, you should try the CFL or look at the CFL." It's funny how, I don't know at that moment if you thought, nah, or I'm going to wait for another NFL opportunity, but you took the right path, right, for your own
Right,
joy and what's happened. It's
right.
been good for your life, right?
Yeah, no, I had obviously every young player from the States that comes here, they're like, yo, I'm gonna come here, do a year, 2 years, try to go back to the NFL. And just off the situations that I had and the adversity I had to already overcome, I wanted to, like I said, I fell in love with football again. Down south, it's a lot of, as everyone knows, the politics behind football, and I don't, right? I wasn't happy, right? That's obviously the money's great, but like, I'm all about my peace now and my happiness. So as I was getting older, I just want to do what's fun and what makes Lucky happy.
I like it.
I mean, there's a lot going on this weekend. He's going back to BC. Kenny's back. Their new quarterback's back again.
Yeah, what's the name again?
Yeah. Well, it's a lot going on. It's going to be a great weekend.
Yeah.
And it's going to be great for the league in general. Right?
Right.
There's going to be a lot of people there. Probably Matt and I were looking back at the crowds we've seen when we've been there the last number of years. Nowhere near what they're expecting this weekend. So it's good. It's good. It's good for the league. It's going to be a good weekend.
Well, yeah, you played with Nathan Work. It's a hell of a story for them and for the league, right?
Absolutely. Great dude. I was in his wedding. I was at his wedding. So
Nice.
it's like you just said, it's great for the league. Great for himself, obviously, to just get back into ball, right? You just constantly you do that limbo, right? And you just like at a point you just like, when's enough?
Yeah.
Right? And you do a whole lot of stuff as far as like you'll go to these places and states and right, there's a lot of moving. Right? And you just get tired of it and you want to find a home. Right? And obviously that's home for him, and it's gonna be it's gonna be electric this week, and I'm super excited. We're ready for the challenge, obviously.
Yeah. Okay, I got a few more random questions for you. We don't do it here, which is fine. But these entrances that you were doing in BC Plays,
Yeah.
what was going on there? Who set that up? Baker?
No, that was a me thing. If we had the stadium set up too, like our stadium, like we come into a
Yes.
door and go
Yes.
straight, like, right?
Yes.
But so in 2021, a lot of we practice in Surrey, right? So a lot of the players, instead of driving cars, they had these little mini scooters. And Chris Rainey was on our team at the time, and he had a little mini scooter. And I'm like, Chris, bring that joint downtown. I'm trying to ride it into the stadium. Not even thinking nothing of it, right? But these little scooters they fast now.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so I was on this mini scooter and came down the tunnel, and people were recording and ready to take pictures, but I was coming in hot. I had my mask on, propeller hat, right? And I'm
COVID mask.
COVID mask, yeah. And
Nice.
I'm
Yeah,
hitting
yeah,
it. I'm
yeah.
coming around the corner, and they posted it, and obviously the league posted it. The Twitter ate it up. Fans was like, "Oh man, what are you gonna do next week?" And I'm like, didn't plan on doing nothing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so I just started doing stuff every week. And it's funny because, like, now that we're going back, last year we had a playoff game in BC, and I was trying to zip line in. Yeah, it's crazy. I was trying to zip line into the stadium, and they were like, we can't, because, they do big, like, concerts and all this other stuff. And it was like, the way the wires are, we can't set it up right now. So I'm like, all right. When I had signed back with Winnipeg, somebody, okay, dang.
I mean, are you? This is set up to do?
No, I'm not doing it.
Oh, okay.
No. They had asked, like, hey, we can probably set up that zip line. And I was like, we're in a different wheelhouse now.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? We run things a little different
Yeah.
over there. So I was like, no, we're not doing none of that.
It's
Yeah.
funny. I asked him about this after practice today, Darren. He said it doesn't work like that here as it does there. And he said that when he gets off the bus, he'll maybe just have a hard hat on, right?
Yeah.
Then it's time to go to work.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So no
Yeah,
great.
zip lining into the stadium.
That'd be cool.
It would be cool.
But it's to someone
I don't
else's stadium is crazy.
Into someone else's stadium.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Into someone else's
I
stadium.
don't play there no more, right? So,
Right.
like, me being on the
But it might.
people are
make more of a
expecting
stadium.
something, but I'm not. I'm just, like I said, I'm coming to work.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
See,
Getting
you
off the
love
bus,
that
come to work.
answer, right?
Yeah. Well. Yeah. I mean, I was just thinking in my head like, oh shit, now we're gonna zip line into the stadium. How am I gonna handle this? Like,
Right now, yeah.
next one is the 21 West final. So this is a crazy video that you I think I've sent it to you
Yeah.
before. What, like, so you guys, sorry if I could get this up. You guys weren't in the playoffs in 21. No, you weren't. Okay, so how did you end up back in Winnipeg? Or maybe that's a personal situation.
No, it
but-
was well, I know y'all had a game. Our season was
Yeah.
done. I didn't have.
So
I had no ties in Vancouver, so I was
so
already
it's,
gonna leave.
it's that simple.
Yeah. Well, then me and she was roommates in 2019.
Yeah.
So I had hit him up like, yo, I'm about to be out there, and he was like, bet. So yeah, I had
Because
Came?
that's an amazing video.
yeah, no, I had, and I tweeted that I was gonna be here. Man, I had I was tailgating. You should have seen me. Somebody, listen, it was freezing out there, but like the tailgate setups,
Yeah,
oh, I was so warm.
it was cold.
I was so warm.
That game was early December, December
December
4th or 5th. Okay.
December 5th.
It was like minus 30.
Yeah.
No, it
Was that the coldest you've ever experienced? It must be.
yeah. Well, listen, I had I don't know if I can say this either, but I had one of
Sure.
those little mic cards. Those
Yeah,
little
yeah,
lemonade
you
joints.
can say that.
All
Yeah.
right, I had a Mike's Hard.
Yeah. You drink? Now you do.
Huh?
Now you do.
Yeah.
You went. You took like 2 years off though.
Well, yeah, during COVID.
Okay.
Yeah. So I had a Mike's Hard section 141.
Mm-hmm.
Fan brought me back a Mike's Hard, and if you didn't fit, like you had to chug it, or if you put it down, it went to a slushy.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was crazy, and
Yeah.
I was like, After my first one, I realized, oh, now it's a slushy. I got another one.
Yeah.
Chug
Yeah.
that, and we stay warm over there, man.
So that game was really close, if I recall correctly. They had the ball to go down and try and tie it or win or something. It was a really close game. And there was like a 3-minute warning. Sweet Caroline comes on.
Oh yeah, we got
He's
it
in
in.
the
And
front row,
and
yeah.
I'm looking around. Is that the video? Is that, okay. So I'm looking around at the people. People guys have no shirts on. It's honest to God, it's -30.
Yeah.
I'm thinking these people are having the time of their lives.
Yeah.
It's just I think that they had moved it to a Saturday at that point. Either way, whatever. Nobody didn't even matter. So maybe even if it was a Sunday, people were just having the best time of their lives. It was,
And he was there
and he was there.
on TSN
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Getting it
Did your former team ever say anything about that?
No,
No. And what are you gonna say?
I mean, I was going into free agency,
Right.
so I wasn't like it wasn't. I was still on contract,
right.
right? I was hitting free agency,
Yeah, guy's
and it was
loving the league.
Right.
You know? He's
Right.
loving the league. That's
Right.
Yeah. And
Okay.
then when you came back, the fan from that section gave you that shirt
Yes,
that we
I
took
got
a
it.
picture of.
Yeah.
Yeah, before your first
Yeah.
got the
game.
date on it and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, if there was dozens more of guys like you in this league, the league would be an even better place than it is. And
Absolutely.
it's a great place. But there's absolutely nothing wrong with showing personality.
Yeah.
Ziplining into a stadium,
Yeah,
that might be.
I rode a horse across.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that was,
Rode a horse. Yeah.
yeah.
So just going back to this for a second. So how did you do this every single week? Set up about differently.
Well, I would sometimes the day of the game I would go to Toys R Us. Not even joking.
Okay.
The day of the game I would either go to Toys R Us. And I'm like, oh, this pogo stick is cool. I'll go.
Okay.
I'll take this pogo stick. I seen a big wheel. I put it there, and
Oh,
I
the
didn't
big
even have
wheel, yeah.
tools. So like after the game, I wouldn't take this stuff home. So like when we go back to practice, it was in Surrey, stuff would just be in the locker room.
Yeah.
And we would ride it around or whatever. But
Yeah.
like my big wheel, I had to screw everything in with my hands. So
Yeah.
like it was loose.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't sturdy at all.
No.
So
You
it
can't get a horse at Toys R Us, so how did you
No.
get the horse?
I had mentioned it, right? I wanted to ride. They was like, "Have you ridden a horse before?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I've been horseback riding." Right? They teach you. They just walk anyway, so it's straight. But yeah, this horse was a pretty famous horse. It's been in like shows,
Yeah.
and no, I got on. They didn't show it in the video, and no one really knows this. Obviously, they edited great, but the horse started running a little bit, and
Oh, wow.
I've ridden a horse.
Yeah.
So I knew what to do, but I panicked too because
Sure.
it wasn't supposed to do that. Right? So the owner had went to the side and she was like, just give him a little tug on the side and he'll walk down to the end where his food is. And they started doing it. We're walking fine and then a little gallop started happening and I was like,
Oh no.
all right. And it got a little faster. And I panicked, and he was like, and I hear the guy trying to tell me what to do to tell him, like, I knew what I had to do.
Yeah.
And I put my hand up. I just started, I'm ready for the ride. And I hear the camera guy that was recording, Matt Baker,
Oh yeah.
he was next to the camera guy, and all I hear him say is, oh, shit. This is before the game, and I was just like, yeah, this is happening.
yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I finally was like, okay, and I figured it out, and the horse started walking again, but I was terrified for like 2 seconds.
Yeah. Sure.
Like, I'm like, this horse is
You
about to lose.
you kind of beat your own drum in general, buddy, right? You kind of do what you just do what makes you
I
happy.
told you, man,
do.
I did what made Lucky
I remember
happy.
2019, we were flying home from Ottawa after a game. We're in the hangar, and he comes out
My robe.
and he's wearing a big white robe from the Fairmont Chateau Laurier. and him and I had known each other for a few months. So I said to him, "Hey, we got to charge you for that." He's like, "Yeah, I know." He knew.
Yeah.
He just took it from the hotel and wanted to wear it, and I'll pay for it. Happy
Nice
to pay
robe.
for it.
Yeah,
But
it was nice.
so yeah, that was what he was wearing home. So you never know what you're getting with this guy.
You still have the Fairmont robe?
I got a new one.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. There you go.
Another road trip.
There you go.
Upgraded.
I got nothing else. We've kind of blown through time here. It's already 10-4. But
Yeah.
you got anything else?
No, it was. Look, I'm glad you're back here because, like Darren said, it's awesome for the league, but awesome for us just for you to tell stories, but just I mean, you're one of those guys. We were talking about Celeste and Habit today. You're one of those guys that just brings a lot of joy in the building, and you can never have enough of that. So I'm glad as hell that you're back, man.
I'm glad to be back. I
Yeah.
appreciate y'all.
Looking forward to the weekend. I'm glad you're back too,
Yes,
buddy.
sir.
I've told you that a few times, but
Yeah, yeah.
I'll tell you once more. All right, man.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, Lucky.
No problem.